Larry. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. And he's not going anywhere to start tonight. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Patriots take over. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. They start out with a run by Ferguson. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9. Running again, and again it's Ferguson. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Looking to throw. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll try to run down here with Ferguson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Here we go now.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll run with Marshall. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
That's caught left side by Jake Butt. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still, no yardage. Okay.
And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
It's a Patriots sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And before the punt, time is going to run out on this first quarter. 3-0 is our score, and we'll return to Foxborough after this. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll look to set up his blockers. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On first down, Ferguson. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete. New England on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. And he's got room. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. On 4th down, Nicholson. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Patriots. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Now let's go. Blue lady. Blue lady.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Second down carry for Ferguson. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. He He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
A beautiful fake. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now back to throw. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throw now on first down. And he rifles one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? If Marvin right now is just tallying it up, hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Back to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. New England on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. His throw incomplete. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Patriots are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Broncos didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10. Chandler's able to zero in on the QB here. This will go for a loss of 7. Later on the drive, Perry's found on the quick pass and catched it. And this 2-play drive goes for a TD. Patriots push the lead to 10. Midway through the 2nd quarter, Miller's going to take down the QB here. This will go for a loss of 8. Patriots now late in the 2nd. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This will go for a loss of 7. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the 2nd half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the 2nd half.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Patriots send out their punter. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Just 1 yard to go here on second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Fights loose. And they can't corral him. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. This is Marshall. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And here's Marshall. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? The Broncos on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a second down. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. On the handoff, this is Ferguson. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the hand.
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So the Broncos coming out now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards.
Let's go!
Now they'll run on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. So the Patriots coming out now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. He'll look to throw. Able to slither by. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 4 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Now let's go! Green 39!
And this is going to be incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, And not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Ferguson. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you try to run it up on your friend.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Let's go. Blue landed. Hot blue
Movement
landed.
there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. As bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard right there around the 35-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
And an alley to run. And Owen coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, Parker, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Here's Ferguson. Down right around the 25. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. Now it's Osweiler. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. The gun, it's Osweiler. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Rice. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. About 3 yards there to the 27. 5 yards to gain here on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Skirts by at the 15, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. The play clock's running down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And now it's 2nd and goal. Now a carry for White. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
2nd and 10. It's Osweiler again. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Here we go. It's Osweiler on fourth down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's White. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down.
Now let's go! Green 39!
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now Osweiler. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down. Again, Osweiler. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway.
Delay of game, offense.
They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
The Broncos on third down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only one time. This will be third and a mile. One last shot for Osweiler. And that is incomplete. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Pats, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.